Hello Bellezas, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today's video is a little bit different than my usual videos, but I hope you guys enjoy it either way. If you do enjoy it, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe. My first story takes place back in Lancaster, California, where I lived for a few months when I was about 10 years old. We had moved into a new home in a quiet suburban neighborhood, and we were all super excited since we thought this would be a home that we would live in for years to come. It wasn't the biggest or fanciest house out there, but I had always lived in very small places since I could remember, so this house felt massive to me. To give you an image of the layout of this house, it was a 2-story house with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. As soon as you entered through the front door, the stairs were directly in front, and the living room was to the left. Further down, we had the kitchen, which was separate from the living room, and led to a door for the backyard. The first 2 rooms were on the right of the living room, adjacent to each other. One of those rooms belonged to my parents, and the other to my little sister and I. The 2 rooms upstairs were facing each other, with a door to the bathroom in the center, and belonged to my 2 half-brothers. We were all very excited for this new home, so we were settled in very quickly, and I had unpacked and organized everything within a couple of weeks. My dad had planned a movie night for us as a sort of housewarming on a certain weekend, and we were all promised to go to Blockbuster to pick out a movie. We were very excited. As the weekend approached, my dad drove us to Blockbuster, where we spent an hour trying to come to an agreement on what we were going to rent. Me and my little sister, who was 6 at the time, pretty much were set on wanting to watch Child's Play, but our parents kept assuring us that if we got that movie, that we would definitely be scared to go to bed. We didn't listen to them, and then assured them that we wouldn't be scared, and that we would be able to go to sleep. Finally, my dad agreed to rent it, along with another movie he picked out. That night, we put the movie on, and my mom made us popcorn. As soon as we were halfway through the movie, I could see my sister was scared, and I knew she would not be able to sleep without my parents. After the movie was over, my mom put us to bed and went to her room. Moments later, my sister got out of her bed and headed to my parents' room, and I knew she would be sleeping with them since she was scared, which left me sleeping alone. My mom always told me to pray, so I took comfort in my prayers and fell asleep. Sometime in the middle of the night, I woke up to see my door slowly open and the silhouette of someone looking in at me. My parents sometimes peeked into our room to check on us, but it was usually brief, so I felt this time was different. This figure watched me for what felt like over 5 minutes. I got spooked, so I closed my eyes, and later slowly opened them to see the figure was gone, but my door remained open. I tried to ignore it and fell back asleep. The next morning, I asked my parents if they had checked on me at night, and they both said they slept through the whole night. I brushed this experience off, thinking I might have dreamt it or imagined it. A few days later, I was in the living room watching cartoons, sitting on the couch which was directly in front of the TV. And right above the living room, we had a latch to pull down the stairs to the attic. As I sat there, I got startled when the attic stairs dropped down and unfolded on their own. I sat there in shock and confusion as to how they came down. I ran to my mom, who was in the kitchen, and told her what happened. She walked into the living room to put the stairs back and said, "My dad probably didn't close it right." I had seen my dad pull the stairs out before, and it was not an easy task to do, so I really didn't think it was possible for them to come down on their own. I was young though, so I just went with what my mom said, despite being scared. I went back and sat on the couch to watch my cartoons. I kept looking up at the attic, thinking that the stairs were going to come down again. The next experience I had in this home was when I came home from school with my older half-brother. We went inside the house and my brother went directly up the stairs into his room, and I went to watch TV in the living room. A while later, I heard someone call my name from upstairs, so I got up from the couch and headed toward the stairs, which were directly in front of the entrance, and led up to the 2 rooms which belonged to my 2 brothers. The stairway was dark since there was no direct light source. As I got to the stairs, I yelled up, "What?" and I could see a silhouette which I guessed was one of my brothers. I waited for them to respond, but they said nothing. I got annoyed and just walked away, before hearing my name call out again. I ran to the stairs, but no one was there, so I went up and burst into my brother's room asking him why he kept calling me and being annoying. He stared at me in confusion and said he hasn't been out of his room. I didn't believe him right away, until I realized I hadn't heard his door open or close the whole time. I ended up leaving his room without saying anything else and feeling spooked. I was never sure if these experiences were actually paranormal, but they still scared me and were only happening to me, and everyone always had an explanation. So that concludes the paranormal experiences I had in this home, since I did say that I only lived there for a few months due to the fact that the owners decided to sell and we could no longer rent it. The remainder of my experiences concluded of footsteps upstairs when my brothers weren't home, as well as things falling off of counters. But other than that, I didn't experience anything else for the remainder of the time I lived there. I do have more stories that belong to my family members as well as my 2 half-brothers when they lived in Mexico. Please let me know in the comments below if you would like to hear those stories or would like more videos like this. I would really appreciate the feedback. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one.